Benvenuti a tutti! It is I, the one and only Italian VTuber Pulcinella, also known as the epitome of professionalism, seeing as I was playing Bandle in the alternate tab, so hopefully you don't get content ID'd for that or anything. I will let you know I actually got it first try, so despite what the audio may make you think, because I like hearing it all the way. Totally, guys. You trust me, I'm not a liar. Why would I lie to you? It's like that one book by Donald E. Westlake, now honey, would I lie? But it's Phoenix Wright time. It's Ace Attorney time. Oh, I haven't even... Okay, let's go. Back to the gameplay. Go, let's put some miles on it. That's not how the song goes. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court, JoJo reference. Oh, the stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of the case, with as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Denim. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso with a ceremonial sword from a gold statue. I cannot do German accent. Sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo added to the court record. Let's check out the court record now. There's no mistake. This is the if this was the doing of Sister Iris. Let me check. Okay. I feel like she was facing a different way when last we saw her. Let's check other photos. Stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Makes no sense. But I feel like she should have fallen before death. But alright. Police. Loris Denim. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Witness, state your name and occupation. Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this case at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our plagued witness. Plain bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Oh my god, that you can... Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the lead nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it, Bikini. Nice to meet you, everyone. She didn't happen to be... You don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. Don't you get your bikinis twist? Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in the summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? The night of the murder. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently, so I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to the Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soap. You needed Iris, but Iris was never there, I believe. Do we have evidence of that? I feel like we know Iris wasn't there. I don't know. So, that's very sus. I'm gonna press on that. It was just after I had finished as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. So it's simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to the Hazakura Temple. If my back hadn't made so much pain, I would have stayed in the inner temple. You're not about to fall at the first hurdle, would you, Mr. Edgeworth? Cross-examination time, Mr. Edgeworth. Tell me more about Iris being there. The Acolyte's training. It was just past 10 p.m. We were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. The job is simply to watch over the Acolytes so they pass away. That night you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct? You're wrong. You are wrong and always have been wrong. How do we prove it, though? Let me check. I mean, there's... What else we have? Iris received before the lights out bell on the night of the crime. Wait, so that means that she took off her hood before 10. I guess we try this? Oh, we're cooked! What else we have? Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. There literally was a testimony. I'm dumb. Objection. The defendant's fate rests on the powers of their observation and memory, after all. Well, well, well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of the Hazakura Temple. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the Inner Temple at all. No, she said that. Okay, immediately throw them out, and then... The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. I love it when we prove that the witness is lying, and then the judge never doesn't immediately throw it out. But that is odd. I can't believe why she would lie. She has a very honest eyes. All people lie, that is my belief. Why am I being the only one being whipped here? Neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie, which means we must call your memory into the question. Dear, 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 you're older than me and you want to play that game, don't you? My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. You know, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you're going to question, you need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Add to your comments about Iris to your testimony. I was living an acolyte with her training. Iris... She was dressed exactly how she was at dinner. Well, that's interesting. Witness gets let one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met. She was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. That's a very important piece of clothing, I'll let you know. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, well, well. It's not bad feeling at all. Now I understand why Wright always looks so happy with that devilishly handsome smirk on his face. Sisters, this hood. You don't have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spare as well. I do tend to make too many of them. A stockpile, a sort of hood, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. This is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hoods, she could have worn one of those. So there is no contradiction here. We always press further. Miss Von Karma, it won't get that. You won't get away that easily. While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must be of every detail with precision. Into do? I don't know. Not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. That's what you saw. Seeds of doubt. We need contradictory simulation. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11 and thought I should return to the Inner Temple. Then I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and, let's say, 10 feet after death. Iris was, Mystic Elise with that sort of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out her window. Let me check the map. Hazakura Temple map. Hazakura Temple map. Aw, man. Okay, it's not as conclusive as I would have hoped for. You truly saw a terrible sight. If I was in your place, then it would have been much like Mr. Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in the court and me seeing it from this very chair. His imagination is about as creative as Gumshoe. This case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Alright, we press everything. How far is your room to the Inner Temple? 20 minutes. 15 minutes from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. Inner Temple was just beyond the bridge, so you never made it back that night. I was heading along the walkway towards the main hall. We just grill everything and wait till she says something. He heard a noise. Sound of the victim falling. Thump, just like that. Couldn't this noise you've heard when snow falling to the ground? I never thought about that. Oh. I looked over after the sound, and Iris was stabbed at her. Second time the witnesses testified to seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in the claims. Hey, just what's that mean? Who was it you saw? There's something awfully strange about her that's been bugging me the whole time. Her hood. That's right, it's coming back to me. She wasn't wearing her hood. Oh my god. She giving that hood to someone. Oh, I'm cooked. Is this testimony important? It's always important. We always add new stuff to the testimony. Iris didn't have her hood on. What do we say? Anything about the timeline of the pushing? Body fall 10 feet after death! Objection. Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do. In my brain, it's something else, especially in winter. However, I think you're overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report. The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah, that's right. The scene the witness claims contradicts blah blah blah. We know they're a liar. How did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Order, order. The victim was killed and then fell. If this is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. That's right! The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room, then she was thrown out of the window into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Donim's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Was there any blood? And she died of blood loss. I'm sure there's no need for me to... A stab wound produces the most blood when the blade is removed. Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions. Order, order, order. I must admit this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska Von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. We love the witness being proven of lying multiple times. It's great. I love... Where the winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. I will give you a vigorous massage. Oh boy, alright, alright. Further details. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic at least. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I woke, Mystic Ami was stabbing Miss Elise through the back. Wait, if you how do you claim that? This says one stab. From stab in the back, not stabs in the back. You claim it went out and back in. Didn't see her stab. I fainted. When I woke, Mystic Ami was stabbed. Anything about the statue where the... had the victim's blood and the suspect's fingerprints on it. I'm gonna grill her on this. 'Cause I feel like she shouldn't have... If it's... You're referring to the golden statue, correct? Just stabbing someone with a Shichi-Shicho, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But then to make Mystic Ami hold the blade. Truly a heinous, despicable crime. It's easy to despise something. However, there's something that cannot be done so easily. Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Could anyone explain the reasoning behind that? I don't think I can. This is the logical reason why somebody acts. In early spring, for example, I often find myself, there isn't always, that phrase might come in help handy. Why was it necessary for them to use the Shichishito as a weapon? And why was it placed back in the hand of the statue? I guess I grill more? No. We press on everything. Sword was already in place. Was the victim bleeding? I was shocked. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I saw any bloody then. Okay, but tell me about them. I didn't see her get stabbed. Did you see them pull it out, though? Iris is talking about. No, the sword is already in the body. What do you... Did she see them pull it out? Some of the blood had splattered onto Iris. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room and her blood-flecked clothing was nearly folded into a corner. Should I press it further? We always press further. That's how you know you're on a good trail. You said you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say this, what I saw is what I saw. Well, maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull out the sword. It wasn't more like pulling, it's more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. More important, can you imagine? I saw the instant in which the blade was smoothly drawn out. How would it be smoothly drawn out if it was the whole spiky thing? It was on the ground, it was buried up to the hilt. The sword just slid out of Mystic Elise's body from the gaping wound. Nothing out of place here. There's something that couldn't have happened. Well, maybe we check the sword, or... I feel like... Because there's only one stab, like... Oh my god, I'm cooked. I guess we go for the it wasn't smooth defense. Because, like, it does not look like it could be smooth. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive ya. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt in the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the... Oh yeah, it's much longer than all the way through the body. Like, it would have been a full impaling. What do you mean? Start with, do you think it's be possible to stab someone through the hilt with this? Oh, and the blood is not even through the way. Through all the way. Doesn't appear. I can crush men under my... What about the blood not being all the way, Miles? Look at the branches, it wouldn't come out smoothly. And it's not big enough to go in. When a blade acid is left in a body, acid will plug its sword, however, when it happens shaped like this, the wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may sometimes slide out smoothly and may still stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. This one is simple. If the sword is really thrust in all the way on the hilt, why is the blood only on the tip? If this witness is telling the truth, then this blood should be along the entire length of the sword. I might be a little cooked on health. Raising this many contradictions from a single point of evidence. Also, other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that. What does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is, the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichishito. A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mystic Ami was holding it. Exactly. However you reflect on this, that is the only base we have to assume such a thing. I think it's obvious Bikini's a liar, and we should call her out now. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That's what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichishito was the murder weapon. Order. So maybe the Shichishito is not the murder weapon. Even this is the case, it changes nothing. It changes everything because said she saw the Shichishito. Oh my god, she didn't actually say Shichishito. I'd like to ask the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. Namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us to where a sword-like object was found. So that's that. Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. She's cooked. But we're still going to extend this trial on for another day. Could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I'm just thinking it's possible that maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What are you going to move now? The murder weapon, I mean, maybe I might know where the sword was supposed of. You what? What? Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else could this old woman have seen? Location of the weapon. I saw the murder around 11 p.m. And after asking that, we reported I went out to the main gate. And I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using those. Let me see. When did the bridge go on fire, though? Lightning struck at 10:45. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You are wrong and always have been wrong. Here's a photograph of the tracks of the snowmobile. But you're wrong! How the hell would it cross the bridge if it was on fire? Boom. I'm gonna save in case I'm completely barking up the wrong tree here. But I went out to the main gate. I saw tracks that indicated... Oh my god, really? Do I have to press more? I'm sure of it. Oh, I'm so cooked. Okay, maybe we look for something else. I'm gonna reread. They threw the weapon and came back when I was knocked out. She can drive a snowmobile after all. There were tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Let's check this. The tracks photo. What about the footprints also, actually? That's interesting, I guess. They went back to the main gate. So the murder around 11 p.m. Wait a minute. Okay, this might be a stretch. Wait. It's facing towards, it looks like it came from there towards here. It doesn't look like it went back. There's no evidence that it came back unless they did some like maneuvering on one trail. I guess we try that. I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. She can drive a snowmobile. Maybe they threw it and came back. How would they have come back? Okay, I'm shocked that worked. Proof the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if the witness says it's true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks on the snow. Those from heading out to the ridge and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your previous contradiction, leaving just the return tracks on the snow. Oh, no. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Do we pull out the weather? We pull out the snowfall. It's covered one set of tracks. So nice fury, it's impossible. The evidence would do all the talking for me. Okay, I don't know what evidence they're talking about, so. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. The outgoing tracks were erased by the snow. Can I prove that the tracks were not covered by the snow on the way out? I think the weather, it has to be the weather report. Like, let's check about snowing. How long was it snowing? Regional weather report. Snow with occasional lightning strikes. 10 to approximately 10:50 p.m. Lightning from 10 to 11. Okay, I guess theoretically the snow could have stopped. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. It was around 11. Finally, the thing that I was talking about was the... Okay, I guess they care more about the snow. I guess theoretically they could have ridden a snowmobile across a burning bridge. Order, order, order. Very well then. Looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Ah, so funny. It's too soon to be closing this trial to the snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is the weather report ever correct? This is the forecast's actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. Maybe there's a picture of it, I don't know. Mr. Edgeworth, where is your evidence that it already stopped snowing? I don't know. No, any photos, guys? Any photos where there's no snow? No, I guess that doesn't prove anything. How do we prove it stopped snowing? When the victim was killed. Let's check when the victim died. I guess there's no snow covering the body that would have... Even though I guess they could have moved the body also. Thank God. Whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. But proving it is incredibly easy. Check out this picture. Look at this photograph. Every time I look, it makes me laugh. Mr. Lee Stonim, was there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It stopped snowing when she was killed. In other words, if the killer really did go and dispose of the weapon, then in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks. Order. Which is what are you? Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not sure. This is what all the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it could be understood they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then when this person returned... the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night of the question, we know the defendant had it. Oh, man. The key was found in her room after the murder. What it could mean it was planted. Iris never said that she went there. I should probably press on this point some more. Where did she go? Where was the blackmail letter telling her to go to? I think it was telling her to go to the Heavenly Hall. Yeah. I don't think she didn't cross the tracks. Snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it. I think she took it for the Heavenly Hall, though. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple. Didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. Must have just failed to see it, sister. When I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was back there. It was covered in snow. But that isn't possible. I don't know, maybe because she went to the hall? I'm guessing that. What does this mean? What's the snowmobile used for? The witness couldn't have possibly seen it by the gate. It wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in the photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used a snowmobile to return to the temple. I think we learned all we can from the witness. At least it's the same problem. We need a witness. Larry Butts. Only an idiot like Larry Butts. Your Honor, there might be one individual I call Larice Deneau to the stand. He saw something incredible on the night of the murder. The individual went walking outside. He is our idiot. Who is this idiot we're talking about? I think it's Prosecutor Godot, maybe. It's kind of difficult. We don't know. This guy must have been a product of Jean-Luc Delarduc's guide to obnoxious fitting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim Elise Stonim. Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell him about his designs for Iris. But it might cost us his credibility as a witness before I call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps looking for something to paint. Although I cannot guarantee this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate-looking man What exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from here, right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please get the witness. Or whatever. To be continued. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes, and there are two things I need to ask you. Number one, you didn't really go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing, the temple snowmobile was used in between the times Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. What made you go out to the Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Shummina, bum 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 bum. It's because I'm Dahlia Hawthorne. I can't tell you about that yet. Not until her safety is confirmed. Safety of the acolyte. Okay, I guess I just have to stall the trial until tomorrow. No matter what may come, I could never take a life. No psycho lux. It's my job to get the truth. Aren't they called like psyche lux? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where's the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. He's sketching something very intensely. He drew a terrifying woman, along with a demonic face and a vicious Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist out into the court. Luristonium, I hope you're all ready. Get in here. It would seem that Whip is going to plenty more use today. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, Viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it? I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art isn't all about working in the fields, is it? Out here in the fields, I work for my meals. I found a wonderful new model. So see, I got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Yeah, beat the crap out of him. Yeah, I hate that guy. Stop your pathetic blabbering and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Before we learn to walk, we can cross-check properly. Just stoked for a rip, are ya, bud? Just stoked for a rip. I come from the land of the delight. I was out in the lodge. Oh, I didn't see that. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm alone now, aren't I, edgy? I'm just a nobody, a worthless man. This man is an inferiority complex. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Let's proceed with the cross-examination. No touching. What I saw... Why is it not... Oh, I was hitting the wrong button. I'm stupid. I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. Were the stars out? Nothing about that. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone that night. Wait, we were there actually. Wasn't like... I'm gonna say it before this because I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night. Didn't he see Phoenix Wright? I didn't see anyone. Okay, let's go. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. I'm just a guy. Having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Are you trying to console me, Edgy? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents that you create. You're totally pinning this one on me. Now then, let's just talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus he headed for the public phone by the bridge. Then he happened to cross a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you'll continue to cause these incidents. Oh my god. Testify about the truth. I think I've finally woken up. I could still be sleeping, but I'll testify. I'm totally not gonna lie in this one again. How do the judges stand it? We just have to keep doing it over and over again, and people just keep lying. Why are you always lying? Why are you always lying? I thought the shack, okay, I didn't see that actually, so now I'm gonna skip the whole thing just so I can read it. She only saw a lot. What happened to the bridge after it caught fire? It was like after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burns out. Trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. You caught a cold. I never knew that, man. If he should be called unlucky or unlucky. Oh damn, we're still hiding the fact that Phoenix Wright is like in danger. Cross-examination. What I saw. I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I'm guessing that's the lightning. When was the lightning again? My favorite thing, weather report, 10 to 11. Okay. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. Something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. Went to the shack around 9. It would have been around 10:30 p.m. Do we pull out this, or wait for your tenant at the Heavenly Hall? We save and then we try to... I don't know if we really want to pull this up, but... You know... Nope! I guess maybe we grill him on this again. What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess, about what? I said the meeting time is 10 p.m., right? I couldn't wait, I thought you might come early, too. They never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Don't we poke it up by picking my fond memories apart. I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way, so every 20 minutes or so I went out to the bridge, but I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. Do we pull out the weather report again? It's not gonna work, but... Did I save? Okay, weather report. Nope. I guess we just press everything. Looked at the window when it was on fire. Seeing that, what'd you do? I was freaking out, man. Why you take a look at the bridge? Freezing cold, so at first I thought I'm not leaving my covers. It pretty much stopped snowing, so I changed my mind. I guess that confirms this up. I cannot sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, witness. There's still some thunder, so I went to check it out. You said right away about exactly how long after that was it? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire, maybe around 5 minutes. I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far away is the small shack from where you were in the bridge? Well, it pretty much stopped snowing, but I guess around a 5-minute walk. And how did Dusky Bridge look to you when you got there? Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. Not even the bonfire kids make during school camping trips can compare. Should I press him for more info? Why didn't you call anyone? Because the phone was there, I guess. Normally when faced on a towering inferno, one would try to call someone. There's a public phone right by the Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then let's hear why you didn't. It's because Phoenix Wright was there. I didn't have time to. I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later. He claimed to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright. Yeah. I thought I better tell someone about this. Maybe you'd forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then already. What? What's this feeling? I have a terrible feeling of unease. He told me at the burning bridge there's something that still doesn't fit. Oh my god. A bunch was on fire, some thunder. Thunder when I went right away to check it out. I don't know. Thunder, I went to check it out. Nick showed up less than a minute later. Love checking my favorite. Guys, it's gonna be the weather report one of these days. It's gonna give me elucidation. 10 to 11:45. Oh! Lightning struck around 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Oh, and he said the fire went out, though. Through some thunder, I arrived at the bridge, and Nick showed up less than a minute later. Let's pause. Because it's never the weather report, guys. It's never the weather report, but... Weather report, save me, weather report, save me, weather report. Oh my god, weather report with the steel chair. Your very existence being a contradiction. What? Oh my god. You have testimonies conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw lightning strike the bridge and immediately went to see what happened. I wasted about 5 minutes at first, more or less. I have the weather data. The lightning fell at 45. You say it takes less than 5 minutes for the shack, so you got there at 10. Okay, you got there around 11 p.m. Sure, I would say like 10:50, but he didn't falling act. That is impossible. 11 p.m. is when the murder continued. Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way Larry could have encountered him at the Dusky Bridge at that time. Oh, I was thinking like the fire didn't go out or something, but... I have an objection. I'm so dumb at this game. Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm Laurie Stoneham. Isn't proof that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11, in which case it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. But there still is no way that Wright could have been at the Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. It could have been here. It took 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Yep. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15. Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by flames that night. He didn't arrive at the scene until the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11. Wright did not make it until at least 11:15. What happened during the missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Order. I hardly see that as much as... Literally, that's like a huge, glaring contradiction. What are you talking about? Why should not report the accidents? Therein lies the problem. He was still there. He was doing something that he does not want us to know about. He is incapable of being that stupid. There must have to be a reason for this inaction. Edgy, I think it's time I got serious with you, dude. Listen, I'm gonna tell everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? I really mean it this time, everything. Then say it! Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, but however, let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? The missing 15 minutes. I'm a donim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. The shock and all that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out, and then he came running up. Where's the painting, man? I suppose artists can be strange folks. I'm ready to sacrifice everything to draw the perfect sketch. One large doubt. Where is the sketch? That's what I'm going to grill him on. Where is the sketch? Where is the sketch? Where is the sketch? Where is the sketch? Sketching the burning bridge. Came with it. The sketch of mine is enough. The entire world, babe. We look at the sketch. Oh, he does have the sketch. Show me the sketch. Imagine what? That Laurie Stoneham's debut would take place here. Show me the damn sketch, man. Seal yourselves. This is the work of Laurie Stoneham. Wait, what's the girl on top of the bridge? Well, this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge. It's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Damn, he was sketching. But what's up with the girl? No one has the courage to bring it up. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What is this unfortunate-looking figure? It's Iris, of course. Iris, I wish she had taken better care of herself. We have to plan for our future. What would happen to her if she had injured herself flying? What are you talking about, Larry? Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming that this silhouette was flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. Add that to the Pulcinella bingo card coughing. I'm an artist. The girl, she's really high up in this picture. Ooh, this is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Well, what about in Game 2, Case 3? There's some precedent for this. She was about 30 feet above the bridge at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. Why is the burden of proof on me? The witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Let us get back to the cross-examination by force of necessary. I need you to expose the obvious contradiction. Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Larry's sketch and court record. Now hurry up and cross-examine him. Am I doing him? What do you think I was doing? Sketching. I saw Iris fluttering her white hood. Oh, you can't be serious, man. You can't be serious, man. Really? You think I would forget about the hood? Really, man. I'm disappointed in you. I'll give you a whole $1 that's the truth. If that's truly the case, there's only one thing I can say for certain. The person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. A foolhardy folly of a foolish state of mind, equally foolishly foolhardy fool. Now exactly, how exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry, according to the picture, the individual whom you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me the floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. It seems there are bigger fools in the world than the census bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight. The Wright's flight. What are you talking about? I think you understood what I mean just fine. Why did Nick have Iris's hood? Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you, Nick, you dog. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this day to come. Edgy, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you. What is the meaning of this outburst? I have some definitive evidence. Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Larry Stoneham, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again. But we shall be needing your testimony once again. I hope you don't hear my headphones wire going like... Womp womp, if you do, I'm sorry. We shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us everything you know about this, and show that this is a real reality. This was the real reality. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached the dusky bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried I frantically searched all over her. I found a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. I'm sure Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. What about Miss Elise and him? Where'd you find it? See, that throws a whole curveball. I knew that the spear was going to be a big deal. Court accepts the spear. There's something on it. It's blood. How did you not notice that? Okay. I'm going to grill this man so badly. I'm mashing so I can get there. No one else could have lost the crystal sphere. Oh, yeah. Larry, that night there was someone else who lost a crystal sphere. Who? Who was this stupid idiot? Miss Elise Stoneham, the mentor to the stupid idiot. So then how do you prove it? How do you prove it? They're gonna ask, and then we just have to show the photo. Look at this photograph. Crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it in my brooch. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime. The crystal sphere is gone. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Just what does it mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Stoneham. A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it's rejection. I saw what I do, eyes! And this crystal sphere is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. At least O'Nim was in a room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusty Bridge. Therefore, the spear cannot be related to the case, that's all. Miss Francisca von Karma. The only people who accept that explanation are scatterbrains and crows. And crow? What? I don't. What did you mean by that? Anyway, the victim's crystal spear was found on the bridge on the night of the murder. Yet you expect us to believe that this has nothing to do with the case. Yeah, we're not going to DNA test the blood. Maybe come back a day later. Let me do some investigation. Probably thrown away after the bridge, after the murder. There's blood on the crystal spear. That naturally suggests it was thrown away after the murder took place. What time was the killing again? Time 10 to 11. Oh, damn it. The exact same reason you drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No way! All joking aside, just when does crystal spear appear in the foot of the bridge? Unless it's going to be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Elise O'Nim left Hazakara Temple. If this crystal spear can be proven to have dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. So on this, Edward. I want my final opinion on the deposition of the crystal spear. Not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Perhaps prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Yes, I can. I don't know how, but I can. That's why that's the way my beloved would do this. For your honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove this crystal sphere is a vital link to the case. That look in your eyes, you remind me of Phoenix Wright when he's cornered. That comes as no surprise. Because right now, I'm Phoenix Wright. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves the crystal spirit was indeed dropped before the murder. Carried by at least him while she was alive, with her fingerprints on it. I mean, we can check the card photo. I got no clue, not gonna lie. I guess we try this. Crystal Sphere is half buried in the snow. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. Snow would have totally covered it. Somebody makes one thing quite clear. It was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Oh, okay. I was literally just guessing with that one, but somehow that worked. Teehee. The crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. I don't know how we would have known that. Because, like, you can't see snow on the thing, but I was literally just guessing. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to the Dusky Bridge, and there something occurred that caused the staff's crystal spear to come loose. What could that have been? The sphere, there's some blood on it. Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. No, why is there no blood in it? Blood upon the snow. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. She did not say fool that much in Justice for All. Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakara Temple courtyard. That's not exactly true now, is it? More precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing. No, it isn't. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. Oh yeah, that's why there's no blood upon the snow. Blood, no rainfall, no blood upon the snow. Utlar gut, small blood upon the snow. Not removed. Forgetting one vital thing. Takes 15 minutes on foot. Someone carried the body with the snowmobile. Oh, the snowmobile, of course. There's only one way a body could have been moved, the snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon. But it could also have been used to carry a body. Order, order, order. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. You're too late, Francisco von Karma, and in fact, the defense has proven something else. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. Where was the victim Elise Snowden really killed? If her body was moved, what for? And finally... just exactly what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that would hurt a girl with whom he's enamored. He drew this so it actually happened. The defense stands firm at this point. Edgy! Thank you! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Grrr. Right, I seem to have fulfilled my part of this. It is just as I thought. Francisco von Karma, you made a wonderful partner. There is one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case and then pass it on to Wright. You could have just told me about that from the very beginning. Am I gonna be the... is Edward's gonna be the prosecutor now, and then Miles, and then Phoenix Wright is gonna just wake up and do it again? This is all your fault! Such a terrible witness. Oh. Bye, Francisca. I demand satisfaction. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or just lies? Next time I gather in this courtroom, these are the matters that should be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigation by both the defense and the prosecution. The rest is up to you, right? I'm gonna be the prosecutor. Yay! Yippee! To be continued. And I think we'll be continuing that tomorrow. So, how did we like the stream, everybody? I hope we enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe with more Phoenix Wright, I don't know. This doesn't seem very popular of a series, but I would like to finish the thing. And if I've started the case already on stream, I feel bad not finishing it on stream, so. Sunk cost fallacy all the way, baby! So, thank you all very much for watching, and as always, arrivederci!